Right now, we're going to go over to Mike Jacobs with our political insiders.
All right, thank you, Carol. Scott Ross is with us now, and he is with One Wisconsin Now, a group that supports Democratic candidates. Also joining us, James T. Harris, a conservative commentator with News Radio 620 WTMJ. Guys, thanks a lot for being with us again tonight. Okay, we've got exit poll results that say too close to call, yet we have early returns that are showing the Republican candidates in the Senate and in the governor's race with a huge margin. What do you make of that? Scott, let's get started with you.
Oh, we don't have Madison, we don't have City of Milwaukee, and we don't have college campuses. It's still a long way to go.
So you're not too worried at this point?
Absolutely not. There are a lot of enthusiastic people out there that want to see job creation and want to see it done sensibly.
James T. Harris.
After the 2000 race and that whole debacle with exit polls, you have a lot of Americans, especially on the right side of the aisle, that don't trust those polls and would probably lie to the polls just for kicks and giggles. So, but I agree, Wisconsin or Milwaukee and Madison are not in yet, but I think the fact that you have such a wide gulf between the two does speak to that enthusiasm gap.
All right, let's talk about the two candidates in the race for governor. You can imagine that Tom Barrett is off in a side room down there at Serb Hall. Scott Walker off in a side room out at the Country Springs Resort. They're watching these numbers. What are they thinking? James T.
Well, I'm thinking, when you look at the crowd size, even with the shots of our cameras down there's a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of energies over at the Scott Walker party. But, I mean, they have to be nervous, and they have to be probably praying and you just want this thing to hurry up and be over.
Well, I think, the most important thing is, what's going to happen tomorrow? When we start on this, both guys are sitting there. Like you say, they're nervous, they're ready to go. And I guess we'll have to wait and see, all of us here, we just have to wait.
No,
they're the ones who have done the hard work.
I'm nervous, too.
All right. James T. Harris, Scott Ross, thanks a lot for checking in. We will check in throughout the night. Let's go back to Carol. And time now to get some insight on those races from our political insiders. Joining us on this big election night, James T. Harris from News Radio 620 WTMJ, and also Scott Ross from One Wisconsin Now. Okay, guys, what do you think about what we've seen so far tonight? We've got projected winners in both the Senate race and the governor's race, yet we have no concessions from either Russ Feingold or Tom Barrett. Let's begin with you, Scott.
Well, I think we had two really hard-fought campaigns, and I think the competitors won all the votes counted. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Certainly won all the votes counted.
Is this race over?
Appears not as of yet.
Not until they concede.
Not until a victor is declared.
All right. James T. has been sitting there smiling quietly, waiting for his chance.
I think just like Nancy Pelosi, a lot of the Democrats are in denial this evening. They're in shock by the wave, the tsunami that's sweeping across the nation. And I don't want to say it's sour grapes, but the numbers are as they're rolling in. I kind of get the feeling that it is. So they kind of just stretch this thing out as long as they can and hold on to the last vestiges of power.
Now, if it ends up tonight that both Russ Feingold and Tom Barrett lose, what do you think will be the main cause of their defeats?
Corporate special interest money all over the state of Wisconsin. And I think the big question will be, how much are we going to have to cash in for the payback?
Really? Really?
Have you not had a television on?
Corporate special interest. That's why this is happening not only in the state, but across the country.
Absolutely. From the beginning of the Tea Party, which was founded by healthcare and big oil, to what's going on and polluting our TV airwaves throughout the last year. Absolutely.
Denial. Still in denial.
Whatever it is a wave that is sweeping the country because we are seeing a lot of Republicans winning races and wresting control from the Democrats, both here locally and nationwide as well. James T. Harris, Scott Ross, thank you kindly for joining us tonight.